Hello everyone and welcome back to 2 Cent Movie Talk, the movie channel where we give our opinion, the opinion of the common folk. I'm Greg.
Nika. What? That's my name. I'm Nika, is that better?
That's not better. Enthusiasm a lot. Anyway, worth enough, good enough. And we're here today after a long hiatus to review the first superhero movie of this year, the biggest superhero movie of this year, and based on the box offices,
the best movie of this year.
So far.
So far.
Yes. Black Panther. This is not a vampire movie. But
okay, guys.
he didn't even have fangs. He should have done the foot thing with the claws. Anyway, go ahead. Go for it. Run the cast down.
Oh, you want me to run the cast?
You know the cast down.
Michael
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Chadwick Boseman.
I'm not butchering the name. Lupita, Lupita. Lupita.
I can't say the last name.
That's right.
Letitia, right?
What's the Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett. Oh, I always forget the dude's name from Get Out.
Oh gosh, you guys know what his name is. We should have wrote down notes. But yeah, he was in it. Was an all-star cast basically.
Martin Freeman, Andy Serkis. One of the best Marvel movies that I've seen today.
Yes. And we've seen a lot.
We've seen all of them. A lot will be some.
We have seen all of them.
All of them is what we see.
Yes.
Yeah, but in case you are unfamiliar with the movie's subject, Black Panther picks up after the event. And by the way, this is a spoilers alert.
This is a week after
Wakanda. Civil War. Well, I'll say this is a spoiler review.
Okay.
But if you haven't seen it by now, they spoilers are big for you. You should have been out already to see it. What are you waiting for? Twice already. Some of us. So what you talking about? What are you doing? But this movie, like I said, it takes place a week after the events of Civil War, after King T'Chaka was murdered in the terrorist attack by Baron Zemo. So T'Challa's coming back to first mourn his father and to be bestowed King of Wakanda.
Yes.
Wakanda, in case you don't know, it's a technologically advanced country on the African continent. One of the most advanced, if not the most advanced, countries in Wakanda, in the world. And their science department is headed by Sister Shuri, who is a genius.
She is a genius.
Actually, rivalry smarter than Tony Stark.
Yes.
And a third of his age. And it's really amazing. But the movie, like I said, the movie kind of follows T'Challa in his quest to become king. And during that, you end up with one of my favorite actors coming into play, Michael B. Jordan, who has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and understandably so. It's a little chip, you know. I mean, he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. It's understandable, and he has a vendetta. He set out to destroy everything that made his life horrible. Everything that destroyed everything in his life. Starts out back in '92 in Oakland, California, where T'Chaka kills his father. They have these thing called war dogs who spread around the world as spies, and some of the war dogs take off on their own little personal missions to kind of like take over and do little things, do little odd things around the country. But his brothers started working with Ulysses as Klaue, played by Andy Serkis, and helped steal the vibranium. This is the vibranium that was mentioned in Age of Ultron. When he was in there and Ultron cut his arm off. So, the visuals in this movie.
And if you haven't seen any of those, then you just know as well not even be watching this review.
And with that point, that's a good point. This is the first Marvel movie of the Phase 3 that really doesn't rely on you seeing the other movies. I mean, it's a movie in and of itself. I mean, there are hooks into the cinematic universe, but this movie really could stand on its own, and that's what really made its own contained story. It was in a place that had never been shown before, a storyline that had never been explored in any movie cinematic adventure we ever seen. So you really got the chance to sit back and enjoy what you were seeing, and what you were seeing was really amazing.
It was extremely amazing. Like I said, for me to stay awake during the whole movie, that must mean that movie is amazing. And I definitely stayed awake the whole time. It was just such an all-star cast, and like, you know, a lot of people have been saying it's a lot of powerful women in there. You know, immediately after I saw it, of course, I wanted my daughter to see it, but she has no interest in seeing it. But she'll probably watch it a ton of times once it's on DVD. But yeah, it was something that I wouldn't mind seeing again. Of course, he saw it twice.
I saw it twice, and I would see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I practice these things, but I can't get it. But his basically the Dora. His guards were so powerful that you actually looked at the general as being more powerful, a greater warrior than T'Challa himself. I mean, not saying that she would, but the way that the power of the Black Panther comes, I mean, it's given by that flower. So I mean, you have to be a warrior worthy enough of both first sitting on the throne and becoming the Black Panther. And this is something that's earned in battle. So I want to get back to Michael B. Jordan's character in the movie.
Yeah, now just a little tidbit. T'Challa was trying to keep Wakanda the way it was, a secret. Just like their technological advances just needed to be kept in Wakanda, whereas Michael B. Jordan felt differently. Not just because he had a chip on his shoulder, but because he felt like what they had should be shared.
Yeah.
So that brought a lot of animosity towards T'Challa.
Yeah. Yeah. His feelings were that that Wakanda could help the world. He could help those that were disenfranchised, that were underpowered, the ones that were being the disenfranchised. That they had a responsibility to the world. And for years, Wakanda had this approach of staying away from the world, staying separate, not interacting with the world, and sharing their technology, whether it be for fear of what may come from that or just not wanting to engage them. So for kings down the line had always held fast to these beliefs, and you never ever saw one king waver until it got to T'Challa, when he realized what his father did. Because when his father died, he became king. He had to basically learn to be a king. Yeah. Or be a king without his father. And that's something that can resonate with anybody. If you lost a parent, especially a father or a daughter lost a mother, you're trying to be, or you idolize your parent, you want to be like them. And without them there, as you're going into that phase of your life, you don't know really how to do it. You want to be the person that you saw them to be. But T'Challa learns that his father wasn't perfect. Right. And most of us do realize parents aren't perfect.
He had secrets.
Yeah, he had secrets.
He did not know about his cousin.
Yes. And he did not know that he killed his own brother to protect his uncle. And by doing that, he left his brother's son as an orphan. So,
which was Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. So I mean, it's really a story where you don't. I mean, there's a villain. Michael B. Jordan, Erik Killmonger, is a villain. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is bad. Yeah. But when you look at why he is the way he is, all the anger that's built up inside him, you kind of have a little bit of sympathy, a little empathy for him.
A little bit more understanding as to why he's so angry and kind of vindictive.
Yeah.
He wants revenge, but yeah.
Now, I will say, Michael B. Jordan's character, he has a good amount of film time, but when he's on camera, he commands the whole scene. He owns the whole scene. When he walks into the throne room the first time, and all these people of royalty, all these different tribes and clans, he walks in like, hey, what's up, Monty? Y'all doing good in here. You know, people out here starving. Right. So I want what you have. I want the crown. I've been working my whole life to get the crown. So when he gets this opportunity to get that, and learn he's prepared his whole life to gain that crown. There's nothing to stop him. He's dedicated. He's focused. And
he was he enlisted, like you said, and he fought in wars apparently, or whatever he was doing. But all that training was leading up to him taking what he felt was rightfully his, which was taken from his father. So, yeah.
There's a visual cue that they focus on it for a moment, but you had to really, well, I'll just say, the marks on his body, every notch was a kill, and they covered his arms, his chest, his back.
Body was pretty much covered.
And when he tells you what they stand for, and the scene that follows next in the challenge with T'Challa for the crown, and you see how he's fighting this battle, you get a different feel for the character.
Yeah.
It's not just someone who wants to take over. It's someone who wants to destroy everything that meant something to the people. It's not just I'm killing you. Everybody in your family, everybody ever support you. Everybody, he has that drive, that anger. It's one of these things where when you see it, I don't think there were very many actors that could have really pull that off. You know, it's kind of hard to see that being done by other actors of this caliber. I mean, it says a lot. So, now, I will say, kind of going fast forward to the end of the battle, the great battle, the Dora Raji. I think that's it. Dora Raji. Correct me if in the comments if I'm wrong, because I know I'm wrong. Spell it. I'm not the first one to mess up these names.
Exactly.
But the dedication to Wakanda, even after T'Challa is beaten, of the general, is that her loyalty is to Wakanda, to the throne. It's not to a mission or not to overthrow the king. She's loyal to the throne. Even so much to the point where they're having a battle, and the love of her life for her husband is charging down on her, and says, what is it?
You will kill me,
my love, and without hesitating, pulls a spear, but like, I wouldn't hesitate. For Wakanda. And it basically, when she looks at, she doesn't blink, she doesn't pause for a minute. And that is the dedication of the people. It's not just dedication to a moment or a cause. It's dedication to
their country,
the country,
what they believed in, what they were harvesting, everything that they were doing was kind of wrapped up in that one moment where after that everything just kind of ceased. When he kneeled and got on his knees in front of his wife, his love, and he realized she's willing to kill me for Wakanda, then that was it. It was just like, okay, now we get it. Because he had Michael B. Jordan's character, Killmonger, had taken him to his side when he was loyal to T'Challa for so long. But then when he came and was like, this is what's going on, we need to share these resources, blah, blah, blah. Then he went to the other side, just like they do in every movie, pretty much. But
now, the one part that I really did enjoy, it was the tribe.
The ones that were in the mountain.
I just had it in my head. I lost it.
What is wrong with us?
What's wrong with that? But they come in. Their leader comes and challenges first for the throne. But I think that battle really. I mean, you knew he was gonna lose. That battle was set up to show the strength of T'Challa. But the camaraderie at the end, as they come in and after he's thrown off the side of the mountain, and then people bring him and actually keep him alive. A life for a life, was in battle. T'Challa spares his life. So he owes Millet a life debt. So he returns the debt. And you see in that moment, once everything is kind of, T'Challa's regaining strength, because he does get beat, by the way. Because that's something side note. That's something that going into the movie, we hadn't seen him ever challenged by anyone. Even in Civil War, when he's fighting with a soldier, he didn't lose. Winter Soldier, no one could beat him. He was always without fail, without flaw. And to see him beaten by Killmonger in that battle,
and I was just like, oh my god!
it wasn't even a close battle. He was beaten and thrown and left for dead. So when they find him, fishermen find him, and they take care of him, keep him alive, and they able to restore the strength of the Panther and give him the little blue flower that gets him back in his strength.
They wound up saving because Killmonger destroyed. He burned. He made them burn all of them. And was it the sister or the mother that?
It was a girlfriend. It was a girlfriend.
The girlfriend.
Lupita's character. Lupita character. When she comes in, she gets one little flower. But you see that bond in the end where he's showing this is something bigger than our differences. We need to set aside our differences. We're different. We're 5 different tribes. There were 5 tribes, but they were one of the kind of outcasts. And Wakanda grew all the time. They were kind of in the mountains. But we need to set aside our differences. Kind of what you're saying. We need to set aside our differences and fight a common enemy. We need to first, and then on top of that, we need to come together and not be these separate tribes for the greater good of our people. And that conversation, that moment when they had talking, even though he was joking, he was funny. Mm-hmm. He was very funny. The comment, "I'll feed you to my kids." It was crazy.
I'm like, what? You ain't gonna feed them to your animals? You just gonna kill them and feed them to the kids? Okay. Yeah.
Now, the chase scene in oh
my gosh. Let's just talk about his suit for a minute.
Yeah,
I was like so in love with this suit. Like the sister built this suit for him. It's indestructible. Obviously, it's just indestructible. But the coolest thing about it is that it takes the hits and builds up all them hits, and then you could just take one powerful blow, and all that energy that was just like taken on by his suit just gets thrown off into whoever the hell he wants it to be thrown off to.
There's a lot of kinetic energy.
That suit was awesome, and the technology that they had, which is, I don't know, amazing.
The remote drive. Well, first of all, the one car they had, the first car that they were driving was a vibranium Lexus, which was totally bulletproof through and through. And then Shuri created tech because she had made the technology where they had this thing. I can't really explain it without seeing. I'll explain it if you haven't seen the movie, but if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. In her lab, they had these devices where they could put the device on a vehicle, and she had complete control of the car. So we created a 3D...
From Wakanda, they're in Japan or wherever the heck they were fighting, and she's in Wakanda driving this thing. It was amazing.
Real time. That's the one thing that's hard to grasp. I mean, that much data going back and forth. The intelligence of Shuri to do that, create something like that where it's real time. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's like what they call it. The credits they refer to it as the picture car developer designers, but they were like. It was a virtual car in her lab where you sit in the car and you get a 360 view of everything around you. So she's seeing the area around, well, real time. Right. So and they had the same technology for their planes, their fighter jets, all of which she created. The sneakers that were the sneakers you put on with a suit that were quiet.
She was talking about her brother's flip-flops.
So I mean. Yeah, all in all, I think this was a great movie. There's a lot of great moments in here. The one letdown I will say, is that there's a period of the movie that's maybe 10 to 15 minutes long where it moves really slow. It's like it's a dance ball. Like you're jumping and you hit a landing platform. You wait a while, and I try to figure out where it is, and I think it's in between. It's after he got his sister. They come back. He's key. It's right before. It's right in between when they go chasing Klaue. Okay. And right before they go chase Klaue, and after he's key. I can't remember where it is, but it's a scene where they're walking through the city, and that trolley is going through. Okay. It's one of them because there's things that happen that I'm like oh waiting. But it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't like all movies have moments like that. Yeah. I call them character modes when they have two characters interacting and they just create a relationship. But it wasn't bad. I've seen horrible movies like that, but they just dragged on. The original sequels, the original prequels for Star Wars 1 through 3 had 2 and 3, especially 3 had a whole bunch of what do you call it, run P moments. Right. But now. I'm going to say something. I'm going to say another downer of this. It's not about the movie. It's what I expected. I predicted something, and I got to call it out because I told you. I was convinced. I stood firmly on the fact that the Soul Stone would be found in Wakanda.
Yeah, you did say that.
I did say that.
You said that a while ago. I was like, oh, you think so? But yeah.
It didn't show up.
Did not.
It did not show up. But that's okay.
That's alright.
Because it adds a little more mystery to it. It was kind of like, of course it's going to be in Wakanda, but it wasn't. And it still could be there. Right. Because it still could be there.
We didn't know remember, because when she was like, now I have to fix 2 white boys. Yeah. So we were like, okay. And then thinking and going back to that part where they were like, it's a week later, then you're like, okay, well, it's only one person that it could really be. Yeah. But they did not show. Did they show?
Yeah, they showed in the end. Yeah, 2 post-credit scenes. The one where they announced to the world that Wakanda is sharing their technology, and then the very last post-credit scene where they refer to him as the White Wolf, which is a comic book reference to Bucky Barnes. Yeah. But you could tell the end credit scene, whatever's in him that they put the German put in him or Hydra put in him is gone.
Yeah.
Because he seemed to be like he was.
Yeah.
But but it's okay the Soul Stone wasn't. They didn't show it. If it is there, it's there. But because the movie, like I said at the beginning, the movie stood on its own as its own movie. You didn't need to introduce the Soul Stone, the Soul Gem, to make the story to advance the story. It did well. I think if they had forced it in there, it would almost been like a forced add-on. There's nowhere in that story you could have added it.
Yeah.
And it would have taken away from the story. If it is there, then maybe that leads into Infinity War, because in the trails of Infinity War they are fighting it, and all of the Avengers seem to be gravitating to that area, to Wakanda. Yeah. So part of the reason I think one of the things, well, not part of, but one of the things we can take away from them bringing up trying to see where Wakanda, where T'Challa mission to the world, they're open to sharing their technology. That opened the gateway for the Avengers to now know that Wakanda's a real place. Yeah. And people like Tony Stark and David Banner, who both David Banner.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Get down.
Right, yeah,
so, no. Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner.
They both are shown there in the trailers, and it's probably not coincidental that they're there. They're two of the.
I mean, because they were the geniuses, so you know. Incorporate them, but although I think the sister was just smarter than both of them combined. Yeah. You know what? And her technology, obviously being in Wakanda and having
the vibranium.
The vibranium is like,
because she did with the vibranium. If I said she did with the vibranium, what SHIELD, the U.S. government, Tony Stark, Harold, what's his father? Stark. Harold. Was it Harold? What God was his? What's his father's name? I'm horrible with names.
What is wrong with us?
I can't think of his name.
How many movies have we seen?
It's in my head. Anyway.
Yeah, y'all know who we talking about.
Yeah. All of them combined. And Ultron alluded to it in Age of Ultron, where he said the most valuable metal in the universe, and they used to make a frisbee. Right. All those great minds made frisbees with it. Made a frisbee with it. Let's name some of the things that Wakanda had.
Like the train.
The trains. The trains, the maglev transportation, the suits that were made out of fabric, woven into vibranium. The shoes. The
technology she to get the bullet out of what's face.
Well, yeah, that's what she used those beads. The beads on her wrist. That's what she used.
Like, just like a bracelet, an onyx bracelet is what it looked like. But yeah.
And there's so many other things. The more I think about it, the more that I think about, I'm recalling little details. The black sand.
The rhinos.
The rhino with the
yeah. I mean, it was just so much.
Was everywhere. And she said it to Martin Freeman's character, Ross, who she said, it's all around you, it's everywhere. Yeah. And she's able to take this and kind of George Washington carve the into 100 different devices. I mean, she made everything out of it. And that shows the genius. So yeah, I'm going to say it. She's smarter than Stark.
We said that, Like, soon after we seen the movie, it's like, she is definitely smarter than them.
The Black Panther suit makes the Iron Man armor look like a costume.
Because here's one thing that I seen with her that you don't see with Tony, or that I see with Tony that you don't see with her, is he always has to think. He has to think about how to do something or make something work. She just did it just like freely. It was just no thinking about it. Like, everything that she created was just smooth. Like, Tony has to take the time. He has to put shit together and kind of,
Then he makes bastardized. He makes bastardized products like Ultron and almost destroys the planet.
Exactly. Like, she just flows with it, and it just goes. Her genius is just like.
Yeah. It's flawless. I mean,
flawless.
There's we have not. In fairness, we haven't seen a lot of her character on film, so we don't know. And she's young, and we don't know her downfall. But Tony's brash, she's arrogant. She wasn't, but she was.
But she's confident.
Yeah.
But she's not arrogant.
Yeah.
She's confident.
Yeah. So, I do feel like this was one of the top Marvel movies. I can't really think of one that Thor Ragnarok was awesome to me. And my favorite Marvel movie.
That's not how I feel about the Ragnarok. We did the review on it.
I think it was awesome. I think that
it was alright to me.
I think it was awesome. But look, I feel that if I'm holding every DVD in front, every Blu-ray in front of me, of every movie out today, which I pretty much have, if I have to watch one to be entertained, my first one most times is always going to be the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
It is.
But see, my favorite is Iron Man 3.
See, and I like Iron Man 3, but I like the first one best.
I like 1 and 2, but yeah, my favorite is 3.
But after that, it's going to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so close.
I would probably pick up Black Panther before I pick up Iron Man 3, honestly.
I probably, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to wait until we get the DVD to see where we actually go.
The original 3 do something for me.
Yeah.
Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America.
Yeah.
And the first Avenger, Captain America, I love that one. I like that one. The old,
no,
I almost got you.
You almost got me.
You said it.
No, I did not.
You said it on film.
Like the first. And I'm not saying I didn't like it. It was just. Now, let me say this, because we are talking about Black Panther. I love time period pieces, but it was just too long for me. The storyline just took too long to get where they needed to be, and the period of it, I loved it because I love anything vintage and old, but it just didn't do it for me. Like, it takes so much for me to have to sit and watch that first Captain America. Like, I just have to be so sick and I can't move out of the bed and can't find a remote to actually watch it.
That means you don't like it. Look, it's okay. It's okay. Because I think now, okay.
But I will watch it.
Well,
I don't like to watch it.
Movies you watch it all night, but I watch them because you want to watch them.
Yeah.
Like them. But this brings up another question now. Let's fast forward. This is get into a separate subject, but I'm gonna give Black Panther an A.
This will be the bonus round.
A.
Yeah, I'll give Black Panther an A.
But
and I have something to say after we finish this.
Okay. Let's look at where we're going now.
Okay.
Okay. So right now, let's run this down, because for people who are following the movie, we've been following the whole series since 2008, since they came out. Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all of them. We follow and see every one of them from start to finish. So now here we are at the end of, we're approaching phase 3. At the end of phase 3. An Avengers movie is the end of a phase. So Infinity War is the end of phase 3. Alright, now, what do we anticipate or think will happen between Avengers 3 and 4? Because a lot of speculation is out there of characters dying. In real world implications that these guys' character contracts are coming up. They've been doing the movie for years. No one doesn't last forever. Robert Downey Jr. is over 50 years old. He's been doing this for 10 years. Chris Evans. Gosh.
Mark Ruffalo ain't that young.
Yeah, but Chris Evans has said that he's one of the guy. Chris Helmsworth, I haven't heard much about it. I mean, I don't
think he's actually said much.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo hasn't said much either. Yeah. Jerry Renner is a star actor in his own right. He's all right, and what's her name? Thank you, Scarlett Johansson is a starter, all right, and had tons of other movies that come out. So, the question is really, how much do you think their desire to continue this on any further will drive the story, as it pertains to eliminating characters, and what impact do you think it would have eliminating these key characters?
Well, here's the thing. This is what I've always said about the franchise. If you get rid of Iron Man, you might as well just stop. I've always said that. Just because you need his arrogance. Like, you need him to be a part of it, and no one else. We've put actors in that role. We don't see anybody else but Robert Downey Jr. doing that role. That's it. If you're gonna get rid of Robert Downey Jr., you might as well just get rid of Iron Man altogether. That's how I feel about that. Will I miss Captain America, or if they replaced him, or if they just got rid of him? I mean, honestly, they kind of all work together, so you kind of all need them. Maybe for the Avengers movies. On their own, I mean... you could put some more movies, but then where is the storyline going to go? Like, where is the quality for more storylines for each individual character going to go. Like at this point, I think they work together better.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what happens when we don't have them anymore? What do we have to look forward to, DC?
Moment of silence.
I know. I don't even know why I said it. I'm putting myself in timeout for that. I shouldn't even.
I digress. But
then, are you just going to give us one Black Panther, or are you going to give us more? Like, you can go further with this. You can incorporate and do so much more with this. I think that the movie is amazing enough to keep going for a while. So if we didn't get any more individual from Captain America, Iron Man, or Hulk, or anything like that, then we still have, a storyline to go into with Black Panther.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. For me right now, I think we still need all of them. I wouldn't want to see anybody go away, but do we need all of them? Really? I don't know.
Yeah, I kind
There's a few of them you can't get rid of.
Yeah, it's hard. There's never really been, aside from Quicksilver, which wasn't really. I mean, he was a new character.
Yeah.
The risk that you take with killing off a major character is great. I mean, I don't think. I've seen rumors go around where they're gonna say that it's Civil War. They're going to kill off one or two characters, whatever. I don't see it being one of the main characters because, first of all, they already cast and shot the second one. So, I mean, but if you look at that, you have to forget there are other characters in there. You have Ant-Man, you have Bucky Barnes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ant-Man.
You have War Machine. You have War Machine. You have the Wasp. You still have the Guardians of the Galaxy. And in the Guardians of the Galaxy, you have Nebula, and you have Drax. You have a whole lot of characters from there, and a lot of different areas. And then you have, don't forget about the Overcore, and so there are different avenues you can with Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're still doing the third Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. And with Black Panther, they're gonna do 2 more movies. They probably did greenlit Black Panther 2 already, guaranteed. They already hired writers.
Now the thing with that is, it's got to be as good or better than this.
Well, it's got to be a good movie. You know my thing. The sequel is never better than the first. Never.
I feel differently sometimes.
The hype of it is, okay, look, the first Star Wars blew up. Empire Strikes Back was great. It never is going to be Star Wars. And the Return of the Jedi is a closure. Iron Man 1 was big and blew the world. Iron Man 2 went down. Iron Man 3 brought people back to this level when they were like cool with it. Thor 2, Thor 1, great. Third Thor, oh, we like it. It's great.
Dark of the World?
The Dark World, the second one.
Dark World.
Yeah,
okay.
that one was.
I like that one.
See, I didn't like. The Thor movies.
I don't know. I think I like all of the Thor movies. The first one, obviously, was the best one because I was bringing him out and bringing him into our world. But then here's something else that we talked about, and this is kind of leading into Justice League.
Infinity War.
Oh my God. What is wrong with me? I messed up twice.
You can't edit it out. We gotta roll with it. You gotta roll with it.
I'm just gonna bleep that out, y'all. Cause, anyway, Infinity War, because we talked about, no, I lost my train of thought.
Well, you want to get train of thought, why?
Oh, about Loki.
Oh, we forgot about Loki.
Because it's all of this. It's the whole kind of franchise thing. Everything that's going on because of Loki.
Oh, you're talking about the comment I made where I said this is all Loki's fault.
Yeah, all of it.
It is. It's Loki's fault.
So if you kill him off, who are you fighting?
Well,
because he's always the one causing drama.
But see that Loki is the enabler, but he's really a puppet. Loki is the problem.
Yeah.
I've always said it. See, this is my theory, because you guys don't know, this is a sidebar conversation we've had, I've had it with friends of mine. Loki wanted power. So Thanos used his greed or thirst for the crown to start the war with Earth. He wanted to rule Earth. All he needed was to bring Thanos a stone. Yeah. But Thanos, he gave him a stone to bring him another stone. Alright, it's like fishing with a fish, but alright, get it. One gets you two.
Yeah.
Alright, so when that started, that basically exposed the Earth as being a race of the human race being ready for a high level of war. Once that happened, it opened the floodgates for everything. The universe now saw us as a competitor on their level. Loki wanted to get Earth. He wanted to get back at his brother. That daddy issue. And when you got daddy issues, all kind of shit can happen. So that kind of
Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger. Daddy issues. And so that's what Loki is the problem. Like you fast forward to Infinity War now, and we've been watching Thanos float across and show up in little pockets since 2012's Avengers. You have had 6 years of Thanos is working the strings, Thanos is doing his stuff. Once Thanos steps foot on the screen, Loki's role is diminished. He's basically a peon. Because Thanos doesn't need it anymore. So the real question is, what role does Loki play once Thanos comes to Earth for war? He doesn't need him. Because Thanos is bringing his black army. Loki could possibly die.
Yeah.
Loki could probably be killed. And it wouldn't be by the Avengers, it would be by Thanos.
Yeah.
And now
that's what we're thinking.
Yeah. And they
that's just our thought.
Yeah, when Kevin Feige mentioned that in the first few minutes of Infinity War, you'll see the wrath of Titan, the wrath of the mad Titan Thanos. You'll see how violent he is by what happens in the first few minutes of Infinity War. I'm thinking that he is going to kill everyone on the ship that came from Asgard. I think he's going to do something horrible. I don't think he's going to do anything on Earth that's going to be a rabbit, but he could. But whatever it is. And that could include killing Loki. Because you haven't seen him in but one scene in the trailer. Where else does he fit in? He's kind of like a Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Nick Fury has no role anymore. I love Sam Jackson, but what does a spy do now? When you get a circular ship coming down,
right.
You don't need to ramp people up.
Yeah.
You don't need to just ready the troops. You need to fight.
Gotta fight.
Nick Fury is old.
Yeah.
He needs to chill out. Just like General Thunderbolt Ross. They didn't come out there to fight.
Right, yeah, no.
They can't. So I think if I'm a bet man, I'm not bet say bet man, but I'm 35 to 40% certain that Loki will either die or be wounded beyond recovery. Like he will be wounded and potentially die and carry over into 4.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna be.
Somebody's gonna die.
Iron Man's not gonna die. You know Spider-Man's not gonna die.
Right.
You know Captain America's not gonna die.
Ant-Man, I don't think he's gonna die.
No, because Ant-Man's movie comes out this summer.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is interesting. It's interesting to me because Infinity War showed this great battle, but then the trailer for Ant-Man seemed to be another thing happening.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in how they're gonna play that dynamic, unless it goes back before, unless they do it backwards before.
Like a prequel.
Yeah, or before Infinity War, like lead up to Ant-Man.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Ant-Man's not even in Infinity War that much.
But he's on the poster.
He's on the poster, but they're all on the poster. Everybody's on the poster.
That's true.
So we don't know what this role is. I'm interested to see it. So
yeah,
I can't wait. So we just fan speculations up to March 4th.
Tell
May
us
4th.
what you think. What you guys think?
Yeah, tell me what you
your
think.
thoughts.
And please correct us some of the names we messed up in.
Yeah, please, because I don't know what our problem was tonight, and then me with the whole, bad words that I said with DC.
Adorable.
I will say this, guys, while he's trying to think of whatever he's trying to think of. When Black Panther came out, or was coming out, and, they really started talking about the movie, the one thing that I said was, people are going to try to make this into a race thing. Like, oh my God, it's a black movie. No. It is not a black movie. And what average people don't realize is people were not going to see Black Panther because it was an all black majority black cast. They were going to see it because they were comic book fans. And that's what you get with these type of movies. They don't think about, oh, it's a white movie or a black movie. It's a Marvel movie, and it's for the comic book fan. And that's exactly what we saw in the theater. It was not our faces. It was a lot of black people in there, but mostly everybody in there were comic book fans. They were cheering, they were involved with the movie, parts where they got sad, you could hear the tone in the theater. It was just like, it was not just for us. And the other thing that I said that I really liked and probably was most important about this movie was that the other Marvel franchise actors were supporting this movie so greatly. Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., all of them were posting all over, social media for this movie coming out. After it came out, they were all together, taking pictures together. So it's more so about the Marvel family. And I really hate when movies come out and they make it a black-white thing. Because it's not, especially with comic book movies. It's about the comic book fan. And it's not about a black or white thing.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see the other members of the Marvel franchise supporting this movie for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the best thing that you can have, hopefully, when you make a movie and the movie comes out, and you're going to see a movie as a fan, is that the movie's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a great thing. It's a great thing to see a predominantly black cast in a big movie.
Because you really don't see that a lot.
Yeah. But the bigger piece of it is that, is it a good piece of art?
Mm-hmm.
Is it an entertaining movie? Is it soundly put together? Did the director do a great job?
Mm-hmm.
I hope I live to see the day where this isn't even a subject to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes it, it kind of creates a wall, divide, and puts people here and there with these type of, you don't want to look at film or things like that. I mean, we do it now, unfortunately, as a culture, and we judge everything based on what color person did it, or he's good for this or this that. But it shouldn't be that. I mean, it shouldn't be that, and it really has to start at that point. It has to start somewhere. It has to start with the fans, with the people that are supporting it. If you don't like it, if I don't like a movie, I don't care who's in it.
I think the best thing that the director said, because he was, what was that? We were watching the news when he was on there. Yeah. But one of the things he said, he just didn't want to tell a story. He traveled to Africa to get the culture, to be sure that he was telling the story culturally, not just telling the comic book story, but culturally putting that into this movie, which I think he really did. And he was so humble on that interview. Like, he was it was almost like a timid little kid, trying to answer the questions. It was like, it wasn't, I don't know if he wasn't realizing the great work he did, or he's just doing a job, and that's what he did, and it just turned out to be great.
Yeah. Or he expected, yeah. Because making movies is hard. Making a good movie is hard. Making a movie is difficult. Making a great movie is a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Because a movie is timing, cast, directors, writers, extras, the hard work, the stuff they put in, the whole cast dedication. These guys put dedication in
all that technology in this movie, and just
the hundreds of hours of thousands of hours of man hours to sit behind computer screens and do. You look at some of the
makeup. I mean, that you just don't get a suit and put on Michael B. Jordan with all them little not just all over his body. I mean,
So I mean, I agree. I think I'm hoping for a time, like I said, that we get to a point where we judge the quality of content on what it is and not who it is. I mean, both ways.
By the content of our character. Like,
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Yeah.
Martin Luther King.
He said it. He did.
He did say that. Yeah, I got one thing right tonight.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wait.
Yeah.
And I, like you said, the whole cinematic universe is really a huge story. There's never been anything been done like this and to this level of success for this long. I mean, look at what we joke and laugh about DC, but we love the movie. We want the movies to be great.
Yeah.
We want to see great movies. We want to see wonderful movies that are entertaining and they do well and they continue their stories.
Yeah.
So I love Wonder Woman. Batman vs Superman was okay. Justice League was alright, but it didn't do what it's supposed to do. Suicide Squad was. I mean, they stumbled. So
it's okay because it's two actors, if you ask me.
Yeah. So you look at what Warner Brothers doing, and the DCEU is doing, and you see how hard it is to. You gives you a better respect for what Marvel has done when you see how much flack and how harsh the reviews have been for DC movies. And they put just as much effort. Yeah. And they felt like those movies were going to be just as good as Marvel did with theirs. But
I said to Greg, the problem is Marvel came out first. And it was great. Yeah, if Marvel came out and it was mediocre, then maybe DC would have a higher chance of being more successful. But the problem is Marvel came out and they were great. Yeah. And they continue to be great. Even the ones that I don't really care for, I'll still watch them.
Yeah.
I will still watch them. when I'm flicking through the channel, if Wonder Woman's on, I'll watch it. If Batman vs Superman is on, if ain't nothing else on TV, I'll watch it. I mean, honestly, but you put a Marvel movie on and guarantee I'm going to watch it from beginning to end.
And that doesn't mean that every Marvel movie is great.
No.
Because I did not like Spider-Man.
The new one?
Yeah.
See, I did. I did because it to me, I felt like the actor played the role of a teenager, whereas instead of getting a man to play the role of a teenager and you saw a man, that's just like me putting him in, making him go back to high school. I liked the new Spider-Man. I did like the one with what's his face though?
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
I like
Why
that.
can I never remember his
I
name?
like
Now, I
best.
did like those. Because he did kind of have that kiddish role, but it was, whatever. I did like it.
I got Spider-Man sickness.
Probably. We've seen Spider-Man so
six
much
movies.
through our time.
3,
First, it started
4,
with Tobey
5,
Maguire.
6
and then,
movies.
Yeah.
6 movies.
So,
6 movies in what, 15 years?
it's like watching,
Or something. I don't know how long.
Batman change every year.
That's another one.
So, we've seen how many
one.
Batman coming up from when we were younger, like...
And now they want to do another one. It's about Ben Affleck to be another Batman. See,
well, at least they keeping the same Batman.
no, because he's not doing it anymore. He might be out. See, superhero fatigue isn't multiple superhero movies. If a movie is good, you'll watch it. You'll watch it.
No matter who's playing the role.
Spider-Man was probably a good movie, but it was not the movie for me because I felt like I was watching a kid's movie. And I've aged out of watching kids' movies. It was a good movie because the people in the audience, the younger people in the audience, they loved it.
Yeah.
Because most of them were babies when the first Tobey Maguire one came out. So I've seen Tobey, Andrew, now I'm seeing
Him.
not Asian Butterfield, what's his name?
Here we go again. It's nighttime. We're tired. I
What
have
is
a
his
migraine.
name?
I don't know. And I don't have my phone. Your phone right here.
I'm not looking it up. Anyway, him. I can't think of his name. But obviously a lot of Spider-Man. So that to me is superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
we need to do a video on Star Wars because I have some
Yeah.
gripes about Star Wars that need to be aired, and they're very important. We'll do that later.
Do it later.
So we went on. I'm on about
So
that.
yeah, anyway, as we had a little Marvel DC rant, love the Black Panther movie. Like I said, I give it an A. It was awesome. I think we've only done, 1 or 2 other movies that we've given an A on, if that. I think we've been more in the B range, but this was definitely an A. Honestly, guys, if you haven't gone to see the movie, don't take our opinions as fact. Go see the movie yourself. Tell us what you think if you already saw it. Like you said, if we screwed anybody's name up, please let us know in the comments.
We should probably correct the names in the comments.
Yeah, I always put in the thing the director, the actors.
Read the comments because
look in the description for all the information.
Horrible.
Because we are just so bad today.
Yeah. So all right. So there we go.
Kudos to the Black Panther
Coogler.
cast and the director and everybody that was involved with that movie because it was amazing. Great job.
Yes. Michael Coogler. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. Oh my goodness. I hope if he watches this video and comment on it.
We're so sorry. Whoever may be watching this video eventually.
Wouldn't it be funny if they watch it like,
what the fuck? They can't even
remember my name? They got your name.
Right, they got your name.
Your first name and my last name. Man, I'm about to write.
And the boy from Get Out.
I can't. But no, honestly, I didn't know it. I didn't know it. I knew it, but I didn't.
When they say his name, it's like I immediately forget it. It's not like he's not important. It's just like I will personally say I am not good with names. I've been doing Girl Scouts for 3 years, and I still ask the girls their names.
We should. Yeah.
Right,
Next time.
The last time we had a whiteboard.
We're gonna have his name for the next movie.
We just that whiteboard there. We just write stuff on there.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time with our next cool review.
Yes.
All right. 2 Cent Movie Talk. Bye-bye.
Bye.